Okay, so we are hitting record. So hello everybody and welcome to the very first Silicon Beach Pitch Night for 2021. I can't believe we have ticked over to 2021. And of course, we were hoping to be in person, but unfortunately the world and the universe has other ideas for us. So we are maintaining our virtual format, but I think one of the absolute benefits is that we can all tune in from wherever we are, and we have got a national audience today, which is incredibly exciting. So welcome. So just in the spirit of reconciliation, Silicon Beach acknowledges the traditional custodians of country throughout Australia and their connections to land, sea and community. We pay our respect to their elders past and present and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples today. And of course, we welcome all our Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people that are on this Zoom session as well. So I'd like to begin tonight by stating that the primary mission of Silicon Beach is to empower founders. So as such, our vision is to create an environment where founders can feel supported, educated and empowered to fulfill their startup vision and values. So tonight is all about providing that platform for founders and startup owners to feel really supported, comfortable, open and connected. And so, you know, constructive feedback is really welcome. We really enjoy looking at all those chats and positive comments coming through. And obviously we've got our wonderful judges who I will introduce in a moment that will be there for all of that as well. So as you are all aware, we are recording tonight. So if you don't particularly want to be seen on camera, feel free to turn your camera off. If you could mute your audio so that there are no extra noises, of course, unless you're pitching or making a comment. And as I said, really encourage you to take that moment to put some encouraging feedback, or if there's any ideas that come up, we will have the connection details so you can reach out to all our pitches, and obviously the rooms at the end where you can actually probe them a bit further and connect with them. So without further ado, I'm going to hand over to Silicon Beach leader David Hauser for a few words on our sponsors.
Thank you so much, Karen, and a warm welcome to Silicon Beach in 2021 from me as well. If you're new to Silicon Beach, some of you it might be your first event with us. We are a large community to empower founders, and nothing of that would be possible without the contribution of a lot of volunteers like Karen, who is helping us with the pitch night and doing a wonderful job, but also of our contributors to the pitch night, the donors of prizes. And today we have some amazing prizes. First one is from YBF Ventures, co-working space in Melbourne and Sydney. They donate a prize worth of $4,800, including a one-year membership at their location, either in Melbourne or in Sydney, access to benefits worth $165,000 from IBM, Stripe, AWS, and they're running a lot of empowering events at their locations as well. So that's an amazing prize that we're looking forward to give to one of our winners tonight. And we have another prize from IdeaSpice. IdeaSpice is Lynn Wood's startup. Lynn Wood is one of our judges, and I would like to invite you, Lynn, to tell us yourself what your prize is.
You're on mute, Lynn.
Yep, the prize is a bespoke post on IdeaSpice where we'll do it for you. And that bespoke post you can see on our platform at the top left is currently priced at $450, and we're giving one away tonight. You just give us some information and we will post the idea and share it through all our social media. So thank you very much for the opportunity, David and Karen. Wonderful to support this event.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Lynn, for that. And our third prize is from Shalin from CFO Works, one of our other judges. Shalin, would you mind introducing your prize yourself as well?
Yeah, thanks, David. Hi, guys. I'm ringing in from wet and humid Darwin, so a little different this week. CF this model workshop for, I guess, the winning startup. And what we'll do is we'll map out the foundations of your startup, market analysis, measuring your key metrics, and essentially reviewing your launch and scale plan. Yeah, and I'm just really excited to be here, excited to hear all the amazing pitches tonight. And thanks, David and Karen.
Thank you so much, Shalene. And last but not least, we have a prize from Karen herself, our lovely MC. Karen, do you want to tell it what it is?
I certainly will. So Legally Yours, for all of you that aren't aware, we are an online legal marketplace that connects clients, so startup founders and individuals, to fixed fee and value-based pricing lawyers across the country. So essentially taking that connection, all that fear and confusion, and connecting you with a lawyer that can give you that great advice with no bill shock. So that's what Legally Yours does. But through those endeavours, I've become very attached to telling the stories of not only our lawyer members, where we talk a lot about their reason for becoming a lawyer and their why, but also the clients that we work with. And so my prize is to do an interview video story on one of the pitches, where we will talk through your story, talk about your vision and your values and your purpose, and share that on all our social medias. And obviously Silicon Beach will share it with their community. I'll share it with all of mine, and we'll tag all the judges in and really get people talking about your startup. So that is my prize.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Karen. And I have to hurry a little bit, otherwise I get into trouble with Karen. We have, obviously I mentioned a lot of the work that we're doing is relying on volunteers. So it's not just Karen with Legally Yours, it's also myself with my business Think Innovation, where we help startups and businesses and teams to be more innovative and creative. We have Awake by 5 a.m. with KJ, who is doing sales coaching. And we have Go Viable with Robert, who helps you to get your MVP to market faster. That should it be for today. I hand back to Karen, and let's get the party started.
Thanks so much, David, and thank you for all your tireless efforts. Without you, we are not led, so you're a wonderful leader. So thank you very much for all the behind the scenes work that you do. So tonight we actually have an incredible bunch of pitches, really diverse in ideas. We had 12 registered. I'm just waiting and seeing who's coming in, but we do have Tristan Huxley up first. And I know, Tristan, I've given you a warning, so really excited. So the way tonight will work, each pitcher will have 90 seconds to pitch, and our wonderful timekeeper, Griffin Finch, will be sounding a bell to let you know when you've hit that 90-second mark. So just try and wind it up as quickly as you can thereafter. Thereafter, we'll be calling on all the judges to give some feedback or ask some questions, and that will run for approximately 5 minutes or slightly shorter if we're running out of time. So, and again, we'll time keep that. So please let me introduce our judges. I know that you've heard from them briefly, but Lynn Wood, she's the Chief Idea at Idea Spies. Lynn co-founded Idea Spies, which is a global idea sharing platform in 2016. Its purpose is sharing innovation to inspire action, and it now features over 3,000 positive ideas and innovations, explained simply in 100 words or less. Lynn's interest in innovation started early in her career, and Lynn has served on many boards, including as chair. Notably, Lynn was one of the first 3 women in Australia to be on the board of a listed organisation, and one of the first to adopt a portfolio career as a consultant, board member and entrepreneur. Thank you so much, Lynn. We feel incredibly grateful to have you on the judging panel. Our next judge is Megan Fisher, who is an advisor for industry engagement at Energy Lab. Thank you, Megan. So Megan is Energy Lab, for those of you that aren't aware, is Australia's leading hub, connector and accelerator of new businesses and technological initiatives aiming to move Australia and the world toward 100% clean energy solutions. Megan is a product developer from way back and has loads of experience sponsoring and leading large innovations and digital transformations that are product, people, process and technology focused. And Megan's actually going to be the one responsible for selecting the YBF prize today. Megan, I'm not sure if I shared that with you, but YBF have asked if you could please do that on their behalf. So Megan's the one dishing out that prize. And certainly last but not least is the amazing Shalene David, who is the founder of CFO Works, a one-stop shop providing modern accounting and financial advisory solutions for startups and SME businesses. CFO Works offers holistic accounting and financial solutions with focus on effective reporting, strategy, growth and operations. In her work with startups to validate, launch and scale, Shalene is not just siloed in the accounting or finance track, but on both sides of the desk. So welcome to our amazing all-female judging panel. I think it's the first time we've had an all-female one, so I'm incredibly proud and excited. Yay. Okay, so let's start and get this ball rolling. So if I can just ask all the pitchers that when you do start, just give an indication to the timekeeper to start the clock. We'll start the 90 seconds then. So Tristan, you are up first. Tristan is from Twisted Xeros and we'll be putting his contact details in there. So Tristan, take it away. Let the timekeeper know when you're ready.
Sure. So I'll just launch into it. So you may as well start the timer.
Okay.
So Twisted Xeros is about positively impacting for long-term change and emotional outcomes. And this came about because in March 2011, I ended up in hospital. I was paralyzed and I spent the next 3 to 4 years going through various forms of therapy, including physiotherapy and radiotherapy. And throughout that entire time, my mental health was left languishing. So I didn't work, my circle of friends became a lot smaller. And I asked myself the question, how do I make someone feel better when they don't want to feel better? And what I found is that with behavioral economics, if we present something that's unique, novel and non-threatening, that we can actually solicit a dopamine response from a viewer. And that if we present it to a viewer, we can actually help refocus someone's emotions to a better emotional state so that they can make better decisions and focus on what they're doing as opposed to being caught up in their own stress, anxiety, and frustration. So if you think of emotions being on a scale from negative to positive, we could move someone from a low negative into a neutral or a positive position. And to speak of the unique, novel and non-threatening visuals and sounds that would be presented to someone. So it would be an action with a graphic and a sound. So like a tsunami of teddy bears that sound like dolphins. And that would, in most people, get a dopamine response. So for me, what I'm doing is looking for people who would want to be involved in this, looking at people who also want to use our MVP and our demo. And also people for working relationships as we go forward and raise capital. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you, Tristan. You had me from the minute you talked about your amazing story. Really incredible stuff. And well done to our timekeeper as well. Thank you. So judges, over to you to ask some probing questions or some feedback on the pitch. Whoever would like to unmute first, I'll call on you. Lynn, it's you.
I think that's a wonderful issue that needs to be addressed, not just for you, but for many, many people now. I'd love to connect you with our wellbeing editor for Idea Spies, Matt Levy. He's had a similar background and he's out there with positive stories. Yeah, we'll connect. Tristan, how are you going to set up the MVP?
The MVP is actually already available online. So I'll put a link to my website and then there's a button that says try the demo. So the responsiveness is a bit slow because the server goes to sleep. I can't afford $500 a month to keep it alive, but it does respond after about a minute. And when I am awake, I do actually have a script running that actually makes sure it's always active. And the latency is actually very quick. So it's usually 2 or 3 seconds before someone gets a response.
Thank you. We'll look at it.
Thank you, Lynn. Megan, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Tristan, thank you for that. That just sounds incredible. And coming from obviously your own personal experience is just amazing. How's the research going in terms of, you talked about moving people up the path from wherever they are today to where you want them to be emotionally.
Yes.
Are you going through that process of testing and validation and those proof points, and how's that going?
Okay, so before our lockdown and everything, because up until November, I was an emergency services worker. So I did a piece of work with a group called Pitch Black, and we went out to Facebook and we did a whole series of different ads and targeting using different images and words and things like that. And we were able to validate it that way. So now that I have an MVP, I need to attract some end users, even though it's got some issues with response times, and actually get their feedback for this live MPV edition. But for the most part, it's already there. There's over 120 years of documentation from psychology, going back to Williams, who established the first psychological university in Germany in 1896, coming straight through to Freud, even modern contemporaries and psychologists such as Jordan Peterson and so forth do talk about these particular mechanisms. It's just that hasn't been put together in this kind of method before.
I think that sounds amazing. And it's great that there's all that really full on proper backup. And then it's about converting that into metrics that the average person can understand and take in as well. That's really important too. That's great.
Yeah.
Sounds amazing.
Thank you.
Thanks, Megan. Shalene, over to you.
Yeah, thanks. Great start.
Also,
breaking up.
Shalene, your
Questions, and I
internet.
think
Sorry, Shalene, your internet.
oh, okay, sorry. Can you?
It's
okay,
very jilted.
Okay.
I
might just.
Sorry, might be a turn off your video might be help you.
Yeah, maybe video turn off or hotspot.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'm gonna do a hotspot in a second. Can you hear me all right now?
That's
yes.
better.
Thank you.
You can. All right, awesome. Thanks for that, for the pitch, Tristan. I've just got a couple of questions, and I think just off the back of what Megan was sort of talking about or asking about. But could you just give us a quick sort of rundown on what I guess the business model and I guess essentially the revenue model is in mind for Twisted Xeros?
Sure. So the business model would be, there's a whole bunch of stuff that's going to happen. So the first part is a rendering engine, so we can do proper scaling and everything, because you'd scale a teddy bear differently than you would to a giraffe and so forth, right? And then there's cultural things that need to be taken into account much later on, and that's on the basis of this engine. So a couple of things that come out of that is firstly a app for any person to use. So that's you know, a B2C component in terms of revenue, and it's a subscription model. There would also be an appy for businesses to be able to use, because I've had some I'll say light interest from some businesses in wanting to be able to use this as a prod for people's productivity in the workplace. So someone who has a office-centric job, a very sedentary job, to basically prod them, give them that dopamine flush, help them actually work through whatever issue they currently got, even if they haven't got one, to actually help push it through. And then there's also going to be, at a much later stage, obviously like Series B, I'm very hoping to get to, a marketplace where content owners like Warner Brothers, Nickelodeon, Pingu, if you love Pingu, BBC, whoever it happens to be, could submit their own artwork and materials and earn a royalty off that as it's pushed through to other people. And another marketplace yet again, which would be for end practitioners such as marriage counsellors, child psychologists, various parties to develop their own programs. And to be able to then pull that into themselves and have a more online model for their own customers.
Amazing. I think I heard the time go, so we will end back the feedback there, but thank you so much, Tristan. And as you'll see, we've Alexa's put Tristan's details in there, so feel free to connect and contact and provide your feedback in the chat there as well. Any other questions? So that's wonderful. So thank you so much, Tristan. On to our next picture, we have Bejay Smith from Silicon Tech. Bejay, let me know when you are ready. We will start that 90-second timer.
Yeah, sure. So I'm good to go right now.
Okay. And start.
So hi, everyone. My name is Bejay Smith, and I'm 17 and the founder of Silicon Tech, a newly created gaming company striving for top-tier gaming performance and innovation in the technology industry. I personally am a gamer and want to use that as an opportunity to build my own products. My aim is to provide ease of use to gamers around the world through new levels of technology. The gaming industry is one of the largest forms of media in the world, allowing for incredible growth in a new startup. Silicon Tech is currently working on a keyboard and mouse that are charged wirelessly, thanks to inductive charging like seen in your phone. This type of technology has never been truly utilized in the gaming market before, making it something new and enticing. I believe that the future of technology is wireless, and this is a great way to get started in the gaming space. Our products aren't just for gamers either. They can be used by a plethora of enthusiasts and productivity professionals in the workspace. The keyboard, mouse, and mousepad are currently in development in Melbourne, and we plan to announce them in early 2022. Thank you.
Amazing. And I think you actually got it in on time. So well done, Bejay. That's fantastic. And I actually think you are the youngest pitcher, certainly since I've been emceeing. So congratulations. You delivered that like an expert. I'm incredibly impressed. I might actually start with Shalene. I think you unmuted first, and then Lynn, over to you, and then Megan. So if the timekeeper could start the 5 minutes, we'll get back with the questions and feedback. So Shalene, you first.
Thanks, Karen. Great idea, Bejay. I think that's quite interesting that no one's really gotten onto that technology for keyboards and mouse. I guess I've got a really quick question and probably just trying to understand the product a bit better. But what's the difference with using, I guess, a Bluetooth or USB sort of connected keyboard and mouse?
Yeah, so pretty much.
Is it just really the battery operation? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it'll have a pretty large battery inside it, and it'll also allow for like charging with a wireless charging phone charger. But we'll also have it's not a proprietary system, but you can use a secondary accessory, the mouse pad, extra large mouse pad. You just pop it down on the mouse pad and it charges it wirelessly, and then you can just take it with you, put it in your backpack, and it's ready to go. Super portable keyboard, so the layout's really small, and that's, yeah.
Okay, awesome. Thanks.
Thank you. Lynn, over to you.
Yeah, well, gaming is really popular, and it's fun, and we like fun, so love it. And well done being so young and pitching like you are. It might seem like an obvious question, but what's the target market? I mean, there are lots of these different games around the market, and which group are you going to attract? How are you going to get to them? And why is it going to be better than everything else that's on the market?
Yeah, so pretty much we've got the enthusiast market, which is a market in of itself. We've got the keyboard enthusiasts, so they like to customize everything about their keyboard. And then we have the broader market where it's younger kids and they just like to buy the keyboard and not customize anything about it, but it still functions perfectly. And we're kind of in the middle between those two markets. We allow for maximum customizability, and then also you can leave it and it functions just the way you need it. And pretty much we're listening to the community. We're taking all their feedback already. So all these companies, these larger brands, they aren't really listening to the community as much as we are at the moment. And so we're taking all that feedback and we're putting it straight into the keyboard.
So what's the game that you play, and is there any educational aspect to it?
I mean, you can, as a keyboard, so it's mainly for PC gaming. So that's a massive market, and it can be used on any game you want.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a great question. Megan, jump in.
Bejay, how awesome. Young entrepreneur, good on you. And the thought of potential manufacturing in Melbourne, bringing it back in, I love all of those things. They're all huge ticks from my perspective. In terms of, and you were there a little bit with Lynn, but I'm just trying to understand from a gamer perspective, aside from the inductive charging, which means it's more convenient for you in general, what's going to be super special about your keyboard?
Yeah, so pretty much that is a very specific part of the keyboard. That's like the newer area of the technology.
Yeah.
And then we also have the specific feature set to the community. So, I mean, they've told us the feedback, and we really have used as much of the feedback as possible to really tone in on the feature set and just perfect it to the best possible way, while also adding new feature to it and sort of mixing up on the style of it and sort of not in reinventing the wheel, but sort of adding to it.
Yep, that sounds good. Really user-focused product is great. Just I guess a note on safety. Obviously, this is a electrical piece of equipment.
Yeah.
If you haven't already been talking to the bodies that you need to talk to, make sure you get to them soon. They are a conservative bunch of humans, is what I would say. But that sounds awesome. Thank you so much for that.
That's all right. Awesome.
Oh, great advice. And you can see Bejay's details in there. Bejay, check out the chat. There's been lots of talk about you. So please have a look in there, and we'll have time at the end, as I mentioned, with some speed kind of breakout rooms where you'll get to be in those rooms with these incredible pictures. So thank you so much, Bejay. So now on to our next picture. And I believe it's Dr. Isaac Donnelly, because I can see from your virtual background from 4.2. Please unmute. Let us know when we can start that 90-second timer.
Yeah, I'm all good, thank you.
Okay, off you go.
So have you ever lost revenue because of churn or low sales per customer? Yeah, of course we all have. 4.2 ensures that low customer lifetime value is a thing of the past. More and more companies depend on subscriptions and repeat sales to survive, and they're all trying to increase their customer lifetime value. But sometimes people cancel their subscriptions. They don't activate when they sign up, or they stay on cheaper but ill-suited plans. These leaky value holes will torpedo a company. 4.2 increases your lifetime value. It's an AI service that tells you how you can keep and upsell your customers. Unlike other tools, our users can ask natural language questions like who is likely to churn next month and which leads should I focus on closing this week. Instead of myriads of confusing graphs, our users get clear, measurable tasks that can be exported into their CRM and service desks like HubSpot, Jira, and Intercom. We're not replacing customer success teams and platforms, we're supercharging them with AI. We're 10 times faster and cheaper than your own data scientist, and we launched 4.2 3 months ago and already have paying clients seeing increases in their customer lifetime value. We help direct-to-consumer, health, pharma, SaaS, and fintech companies reduce churn and improve their lifetime value. If you or someone you know wants to improve their lifetime value by 15%, please reach out to me on LinkedIn, in the chat, or at isaac@42.ai.
Amazing. And you got it in within the 90 seconds. So incredible. You didn't even have to have that. Well done. I can see some people clapping hands, which is just phenomenal. Great pitch. Lynn, you are on unmute. So would you like to go first with your...
Okay. Very, very interesting. That's an issue for everyone. I mean, you get awareness and it's so hard to get a customer, and then you've got to make sure that they're a repeat customer. We've got an AI category of ideas on IdeaSpice that soon it'll be in everything. So what you're doing is right in the money. Could you just give us an example of a client, that's gone through your system? You said you've got a few paying customers. Just, you don't have to name them if you don't want to, but just...
Yeah, so they're on our website. We've got 4 paid up on the website at the moment. So it's Upstreet, Superfast Diet, SkySieve, and Mosh.
And so take us through what happened. Why did they come to you? What they do? What was the result? Yeah,
so I can't go into too much details on that, but basically they're all interested around increasing their customer value and reducing the churn of their products. They've all built really fantastic products, spent lots of time and effort on acquiring lots of really good customers, and really want to help customers stay longer because they're getting value out of their products. So it's how can they keep getting value going forwards. So sometimes it's sending an email which educates them on how to use a certain little point in their tool, or it could be offers or whatever it is. So we send out those personalized things.
Right. Okay.
Good question. Megan, yes. I loving.
Isaac, huge potential market. And I've worked in a business that would have died for this sort of stuff a number of years ago. So in terms of data and proof points is going to be really important for people to trial this. That would probably be the way they'd start to get into it. So how are you going around how much more you can increase that lifetime value or reduce somebody's churn?
Yeah, so look, our target rate is about 15-20%. Some people are going to churn. So if you're selling insurance, some people don't need a car anymore. So that's always the case. Yeah. But 15-20% is big. It can change a business and that can sort of double their monthly growth rate as well. Bigger companies have used this. So I used to work at McKinsey, and there's public case studies around this approach working at larger companies around that mark. So big companies use it. It's also the similar approach to the way GE and other big asset companies look at predictive maintenance. So it's really looking at what is a digital twin going to do over the medium term, and then determining the optimal intervention for each of those people. Or if you're GE, a jet engine, but yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. I like that a lot. So yeah, and a 15 to 20% reduction in churn is massive for most businesses. Most of them would move a lot just to get a few percent, and you know that as well. So just the last one, in terms of asking it questions, is that the way you see people interacting, or would it just be like, how do you see it interacting with the people that need that data?
Yeah, so we see it basically as a supercharged growth advisor. So you can ask questions, you can set up a job. So every Monday, send me the list of 20 people I should call today. We've also got stuff around understanding the value and demographics as well. but we're really trying to make it as conversational and as embedded in their business process as possible, because that's one of the major fail points of any AI tool, is that it tries to define that end business process while we're trying to integrate it with it. So we're not getting them to log into lots of different screens or buy another thing and do lots of really hard work. It's really supposed to be as seamless as possible.
Fabulous. Thank you.
Thanks,
Megan. And we've got about another minute left. So Shalene, would you like to ask your question?
Karen, yeah, I'll make it quick. Hey, Isaac, that's a really cool problem, I guess, that you're trying to solve. We work with a lot of SaaS businesses and certainly a lot of non-tech startups that are moving into that subscription model. My question is, how do you get access to the data for your clients? Is it some sort of plugin? How does that sort of work for you to get a better understanding of how their customers behave?
Yeah, so we're basically building integrations to the major CRMs and other service desks, as well as the usage logs. So we can basically understand, and this all according to their customer privacy terms as well, obviously. But basically it's giving them insight from their own data. So yeah, okay. So we work with their data assets, and we're sort of targeting small and mid-sized companies because one, there's a lot of potential there, and also their data assets are relatively straightforward compared to enterprise level.
Cool, thanks.
Great questions, judges. I'm loving it. And well done, Isaac. There's some great comments coming through on the chat. So, feel free to get to those and keep your questions coming with the pictures on. You can provide all that on the chat as well, and all those details are there. So on to our next picture. Thank you. So we have Seminda from SonicSoft. So Seminda, if you would like to unmute and let us know when you would like to start the timer.
Yeah, I'm ready. Yep. So as we are also a startup, and most of the startup and small businesses having a trouble with initial beginning of their journey, especially with the technical side of things, mainly how they plan their technical aspects of their businesses. SonicSoft is coming to picture on that part of that side of the business. We are engaged with your idea, and we explore your idea into a bigger picture, and we put our technical aspects to it, and we plan a good plan for you, like your big idea break into a small stories and give you a plan of how we should approach your idea into a business. So we are giving a proper plan and a good solution architect, a texture to your business. And then based on you, we work together on each step until you success your business. So we are a bit different from any other because we are supporting to startup as a startup. So yeah, that's where we are coming to picture. We got the technical expertise, and we are supporting you from the beginning of your journey to wherever you want to go with us. Yeah.
And would you like to have an ask? You've got 9 seconds for your pitch. Have you got an ask of what you'd like from the community?
Sorry, what is that?
Did you have an ask from the community of what you would like?
Yeah, we would like to opportunity to work with you guys and bring our expertise into your idea and explore it and support your growth.
Thank you very much. All right, that's time done. So thank you so much, Seminda. And your details have been put in there. So if people want to connect with you and support you in that regard, they can absolutely do that. Shalene, I might actually start with you. I think I saw you unmute first, and Megan, you're up next. So go away, Shalene. Take it away.
Hey, Seminda. Good, great pitch. I've just got a question about your target audience, because I do know it is quite a flooded, a bit of a flooded market in terms of the type of service that you do offer. Yeah. So do you have specific sort of target audiences in specific sort of industries? I guess I always sort of think that if you're going to be a technical expert in a field, that you're probably an expert in certain fields rather than a master of everything. So yeah, just a bit more about your target sort of audience or market.
Yeah, we are expert in web development and app development, and also the search engine optimizations. So any business that need the support on that aspects, it can be a small website development or app development. The major problem is currently most of the small businesses and the startups facing is they know the idea, but they don't know how complex that idea when it's convert into a actual application or a software. So most people think they can do it within a limited budget, but going forward they will face issues like they can't add more features to it, or many other ways of technical difficulties or limitations. So yeah, our target market is small businesses and most of these startups to work together.
Awesome, thank you.
Great stuff. Megan, over to you.
Yeah, look, I agree. It is a pretty crowded market when it comes to technology services. Focusing on startups sounds really interesting because there are a lot of startups that have non-technical founders that are looking for that assistance, which is an interesting place to be. My challenge to you is how can you turn that into something that's more than a consulting idea? That's something that you can put into a platform and make it so that you can scale it and you can repeat the same thing over and over again for lots of different startups. I think that's where you'll start to get something that will really do something very interesting.
Yeah, so after we initially understand the business problem and we break down into a small stories, and then from there, like say for an example, then we can do an actual budget assessment. Say the startup have problems with their budget on we can't do it because we have a budget constraint. So that's where we can be partners as well. So because we are a technical expert, we have all these skills. So we would like to go with the partnership or whatever the discussion, and then we can settle into a certain agreement. So we take the responsibility of building your idea, and so we work together to go to the final destination. So that's our model. So basically we take the technical ownership and provide you the support that you need.
Fabulous, thank you.
Great question, Megan. And Lynn, we've got about a minute left if you've got a question or a comment.
It's a very crowded field, and I'm just wondering, there is a real demand for co-founders who have technical expertise. And is that an area that you have considered? Because you're talking about taking tech ownership, but most people don't want somebody else to take ownership unless it's a partnership. Unless
I mean, like the partnership, basically we provide the guidance what they expected as a technical partner, rather than like, sorry?
Is that as a co-founder? Because that's what a lot of people with ideas would like, a co-founder where they're not paying you.
Yeah, there is a model for that as well. Like say, if you don't want to pay us, but we can be a partner and work together as well. So we have a couple of models to work with startups.
You're flexible.
Yeah, I'm flexible. Yeah.
Great stuff. Great feedback, judges. Thank you so much, Seminda. And make sure that you put in your comments and chat to Seminda in the chat as well. So on to our next picture, we have Estelle from Vibe. So Estelle, let me know when you're ready and we will start that timer.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, away you go.
I'm sure most of you know how it feels to date, to have a good connection with someone and to vibe. And I'm also sure you know how stressful it can be to impress and to be the best version of yourself. But wait a second, where are you actually going to meet? What restaurants or bar to choose? There are so many out there, and especially in Melbourne. Oh, and is she vegetarian, vegan, or gluten intolerant? Where to go, right? How overwhelming. Feel free. You don't have to worry anymore. I got it sorted out for you. What I propose is an app that connects the people to the bars and restaurants. With this app, people will connect based on their food preferences. And as we know, that is a crucial indicator of lifestyle and thus of connectivity between individuals. In fact, research studies have shown that people with similar diets and food preferences are more likely to connect. From pub to fine dining, from Italian to Malaysian, everything will be covered. My app will make it easier for people to find their soulmate and will suggest a range of food and drink places to meet. This app will also bring more customers in for bars and restaurants and will remove the burden on daters and couples. Be free and let Vibe tell you where to go so that you can let the magic happen. Thank you.
Go for your ask.
Yeah, maybe I have some like 1 more minute or something. 1 second. What I want to find is our mentors and co-founder, because I'm really at a baby stage of the idea, and I think that will be very useful for me.
Fantastic. Great pitch, Estelle. I absolutely love it. So finding your food soulmate too, I guess.
Yeah.
That's incredible. I often wonder if you're a vegan and you probably don't want to sit there and watch someone eating meat. So I totally get it.
Yeah, or at least find a restaurant that suits both. Yeah.
Absolutely. Love it. Okay. So Lynn, actually, I'll go to you first. I'll mix it up. Would you like to?
Yeah, I think it's a lovely idea. We have a dining category on Idea Spies. And you could put it out on Idea Spies in terms of looking for interest in this. But it's such an interesting observation that everybody has so many different food choices now that everyone's getting really, really fussy about them. And to set up some sort of social network through an app would be really good. So what are you looking for? You're looking for, because there's a cost associated with that. And how do you go about it? That's a really good idea.
Yeah, so at the moment, what I'm looking for at the moment is, at least a co-founder that has some expertise in programming and app development. And what was the other question?
Oh, no, it's just, I'm wondering, I guess it appeals to everyone, doesn't it? I mean,
yeah, exactly. No, yeah, so exactly. So the target customers, I mean, in my pitch, I obviously emphasize the dating, space, but obviously it can also be used by couples or just by foodies, because I'm a big foodie that just want to, engage or connect with other foodies and that just can share their experience. So there is a wide variety of people that would be, I guess, interested in using that kind of tech.
Yeah, that's great. Well done.
Great. And Shalene, would you like to take that away with your comments?
Yeah, thanks, Karen. Estelle, I've heard your pitch before.
Yeah, I recognize you.
I'm a little biased because I absolutely love the idea. I think it's not just for dating couples. Like me and my partner have the same, not arguments, but maybe conversations, discussions on where to have. And it's like, no, you choose. No, I don't know where I want to go.
Let the app choose.
Yeah, I think that is, I think this is an absolutely a great idea. I just have a question. I think I sort of asked you before, but just a question around the revenue model. I do think there's an opportunity to get some sort of revenue model in from restaurants and cafes as well, in terms of them even offering, I guess, safe spaces for first dates. I think there's a great opportunity there. But I'll let you tell me a bit more about that.
Yeah, the business model, I guess the revenue model, what I can think of, it comes from two streams. So number one, the customers, and number two, the restaurants or other places, bars. So from the customers, you can obviously operate through a freemium model where you would have normal people not paying anything, like for Tinder, or for other dating apps, you don't pay. But if you want some extra gimmicks or some extra, add-on experiences, you can pay an extra sum per month or per year. And then from the bars and restaurants, obviously they can pay for ad spaces on the app, but they would also be able to, have extra promotions, and then those suggestions would be put forward more, let's say, often to more people, and that way the app could generate revenues. But yeah, obviously I'm open for suggestions of more strategic ways of operating.
Yeah, I know you're looking for mentors. I'd love to have a chat to you after this as well.
Yeah, sure.
No, great.
I'd love to.
Great idea.
Thank you so much.
Makes my heart go all fluttery. I love it when all this stuff happens on these pitch nights. Megan, we've got about a minute left if you would like.
Okay, I will be speedy. I think dating's an interesting space. There's definitely a gap in the market around friendships, but I also think there's a really interesting space in the market to make it something else other than what you look like, or whether you like dogs or cats. So there's a really interesting piece that you might be able to carve out there, and also really consider how you make it a safe space for people, how you're an accountable platform, to what you do, rather than taking the money and run, which can definitely happen in this space. a little bit, and how you can support really good behaviours and people treating each other with respect. For me, there's gaps in this market around those sorts of things. So yeah, really interesting. Good luck.
Yeah, I had not thought about that aspect at all. Thank you so much for that tip.
Oh, fantastic judges and great pitch, Estelle. You've obviously got lots of people chatting. I'm going to embarrass my timekeeper son and say he's a vegan, and even mums and sons. I'd love to know where I can take him. Not that obviously that's different to your dating thing, but yeah, lots of different ways that it could be utilised, I'm sure. So there you go. Well, thank you so much, Estelle.
Thank you.
And there's lots of comments happening, so check out your chat and see what people are saying, which is wonderful. So up next we have Alogba. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Please feel free to let me know if I have not, from iEventyfy. Let me know when you are ready to hit that timer. Oh, unmute. Oh, are you there? Alogba.
Yes, yes, yeah, thank you. Good morning. Yeah, I'm sorry. Good morning. It's morning. Yeah, in Lagos night.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
Yeah, it's morning. Yeah, in Lagos night. Yeah, okay, yes. So my name is Abdulafeez Alogba from Lagos, Nigeria. So I'm working on a company called iEventyfy. So iEventyfy came about sometime 2019 when I was going through a very rough patch. I was trying to get my life together and get things in place, but because things weren't going as planned, and I didn't want to involve in doing drugs or maybe going out and partying, whatever it is, and I sorted out to trying to find events around me, trying to meet people. I'm sure I'm not the only one going through this problem. So I was trying to meet people that were going through the kind of things I was going through, maybe a boat cruise or a art gallery or whatever it is. So when they say information is key, and how it's difficult to find the right and impactful events around you that can change you, or you as an event creator finding it hard to promote and manage your events or maintaining your retention rate after your events, and you're finding it hard to get people into your events. Maybe they are so crowded, and you're still using the analog way of confirming people into the events. So what we do is we help event organizers and managers to cut cost and time through replacing labor-intensive tasks by mobile technology that we help them get into their events easily. And we also provide them a one-stop event software, including virtual exhibition platform, check-in system, participant management, event management, instant polling, instant feedback, and post-event networking with accessible to price and other functionalities. In fact, in Africa, it is said that the events...
There goes our 90 seconds, so wrap it up. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So the events system in Africa is growing. Is over a $10 billion economy year in Lagos in Africa. So that was my pitch. Sorry, I'm a bit of a mess.
No, thank you so much. And yeah, that's I think you're the fastest picture talker as well. That was incredible. You got that through. Megan, I see that you're unmuted. Would you like to provide?
Yeah, absolutely. So that sounds interesting, and it might be a market specific thing. I know in Australia, we've got lots of event platforms where event people can put things up. What's going to make yours different to some of those other platforms that might be available?
Yes, thank you so much. So here in Africa, especially because Nigeria I'm from, there are companies like Eventbrite, but they don't have the market saturation. And for a company like Eventbrite, when you put your event on Eventbrite, they pay you after 4 days. So with payment platforms such as Paystack, I'm sure you heard of Paystack, they got acquired by Stripe for $200 million. So with the integration of Paystack on our platform, we can pay event goers immediately after their event. And also with it being in Lagos, Nigeria, we can have the market by going in deep and getting more events for people to go around. So we have the market knowledge and how we can go about creating these events to put on the platform.
Excellent, thank you.
And what time is it there in Nigeria? It's amazing that you've joined us from over there. We really appreciate it.
Yes, it's 8 a.m. Yeah, 19 a.m. Yeah.
Okay, not too bad. Time difference. Lynn, we might have to just cap it at Lynn if you wanted to pass on some comments, and then we will move on. We're slowly running out of time.
Yeah, very interesting. So were you thinking about this for Nigeria or Australia, global? How are you, where were you looking at this?
Oh yes, it's just Lagos and Africa as a whole. So we're trying to build it for Africa and by Africans. So I don't have a technical co-founder. That's what I'm trying looking for somebody who is interested in building with me. Then I'm appreciate and I'll appreciate that.
Looks like Seminda might have a few clients from this.
I think so. That's amazing.
I think so, yeah. Thanks for remembering me.
I love it. I love it. So we might actually leave it there because we have to get on with some other feedback because we've got 2 more pitches to go before we close off the pitching and get to some speed networking. But thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for a great pitch, and check out the chat and the comments because I think there are some people there that are looking to help you out. So thank you so much. Okay, on to our next picture. We have Daniel Barnes from the Air Mask. Let me know when you are ready to go.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Off you go. Yes, I can.
I'm ready. So my name's Daniel. I've been a painter and decorator now for about 9 years. We paint a lot of new homes. So to make life easy, we use an airless spray gun. So we wear a respirator to stop things from getting into our lungs, but there's nothing really out there to stop things getting into your eyes. So I invented something called the air mask, which just slips over the head. It normally has 2 fans sitting at the back, which blow air through these tubes that compresses the air, that shoots an airfield over the eyes to stop particles from getting into the eyes. Currently, last year, there was $6 million worth of eye claims in Australia and $300 million worth of eye claims in America. I currently have 2 companies in Melbourne who was interested just before the lockdown in licensing it from me, before now started to try and move it to manufacturing it myself. I have a provisional patent on it and the full patent was put in January to the WIPO. I'd basically like someone to invest a bit of time to help me get it off the ground once the full patent comes back. I've had all different tradies from mining industry to painters to car painters to flushers, because it stops dust from getting into the eyes too. Even window fitters telling me they can use it. And who knows, we already use air technology for bacteria and that, so hopefully in the future it can be used in hospitals and that as well.
And that is your 90 seconds. Well done, Daniel. I love it. And I love a good visual. That was, and I noticed when you put it on, everyone leaned forward to have a close look, which is awesome. Thank you so much. Great pitch. So judges, over to you. And interestingly, Daniel, I know there's a couple of, I know Andrew Miles is on the call, and we've got David Heasley as well, who are IP and certain things. So watch out for their comments as well. Megan, I'll head to you first.
I'll go first because I love a product you can touch, right? Yes. I reckon that's cool, really cool. So that sounds really exciting. And I can't say I know a lot about the field. The extent of my knowledge is, you know how there's air and it prevents flies and things getting in buildings. Yeah, so that's all I'm imagining in my head. But the 2 questions I had is, how are you going around technical proof around prevention of either eye issues? Like, have you started approaching that yet or will approach that? As opposed to anecdotal evidence of, I like it, it's good.
Well, I've tried and tested it myself. I've made over 100 prototypes. I've got videos and everything proving that nothing gets through the barrier of the curtain provided by the air. And I've been in touch with Adelaide University to maybe in the future writing a paper to show what it can actually do and what happens to everything once it disperses from the air and everything like this. So I've taken
that's great. That Adelaide University thing is exactly the sort of thing I'm looking for. That sounds really, really great. And from a manufacturing perspective, are you pulling that together yourself? How do you see it being manufactured? Would that be done locally? What's your...
At the moment, I made it through a free software online and I'll get it 3D printed. So at the moment it's 3D printed, but I've been in touch with industrial engineers in Adelaide, who tell me they can make it in Adelaide as well, through their contacts, basically, if I choose to move forward with the idea after. So yeah, that's how it would be made. It would just be made through like injection molding, basically, instead of 3D printing.
Yep. Yep, that's awesome. Love it. Thank you.
No, beautiful. Thank you.
And Shalene, I might head to you just really quickly. And Lynn, have you got a quick question as well? We'll just do that very, very quickly. But Shalene, have you got a quick one? And then we'll head to our final picture.
Yeah, thanks, Karen. Hi Daniel, that was a great pitch, and I think a really great. We love our hardware sort of product startups. So and all for 3D printing as well, where you can actually manufacture it locally. I've just got a question in terms of what your ask is. So you said sort of asking for time for to be spent. What specifically are you asking for?
So basically, I've been in touch with 2 companies in Melbourne who I managed to get in the door with just like via emails and stuff, who were interested in selling it, even licensing it before they went into lockdown. I have limited knowledge of a startup or getting anything off the ground. So anything I'm doing, I'm sort of learning from word of mouth or from Google or from anything that I'm hearing around the place. So just somebody with a bit of knowledge in the background of actually starting something and taking it off the ground, basically.
Okay, awesome.
Love it. You've come to the right community there, Daniel. And Lynn, did you have a quick question?
Yeah. Just a very quick question and a comment. And actually, I'm going to copy the question from Robert Kramer, who said, "Great idea. How is it better than wearing glasses?" I thought, yeah, that's a good question. And I'll just say Dream Launch, I think it'd be good to get in touch with Dream Launch, Alex Pantia, because they get involved with this sort of thing and doing a prototype and seeing how marketable it is. So that might be a good connection. But the glasses from Robert Kramer.
So basically glasses, when you're spraying, if paint attaches to the glasses, you can't wipe paint off. Well, you can, but they smudge. So then you have to dip it in water, but then you get murky water. So every room that you're painting, you basically have to spend a lot of time with glasses. So there's a joke in the painting community that everyone always says, how do you protect your eye from the paint when you're spraying? And everyone just says you close them. So no one ever wears glasses. So you just get paint in your eyes and you end up getting red eye from the paint. And then other traders like window fitters says that they're drilling such big holes that the concrete gets hot, and when it falls onto the glasses, it actually molds to the glasses. So every couple of windows, they have to replace the glasses. So they're spending X amount of money on glasses per year just to drill holes to hold up commercial windows. And mines, people working in the mines have been telling me they can use them from the dust down in the mines and everything like that. Yeah, it's all over the construction industry, basically.
Awesome.
Thanks, Daniel. Great.
Thank you so much, Daniel. Lots of feedback and lots of comments coming your way. So check out the chat. And now we are on to our final picture for tonight. So I am going to welcome Damian Watson from mSpot. Just a quick note to David House, we'll be getting ready for our breakout rooms. So that's just a thumbs up that you're ready for those. And yes, off you go. Damian, let us know when you are ready for the timer to start.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yep, okay, fire away. So, Damian Watson is my name. I'm from the mSpot meditation app. I've been here before, back in December, so thanks very much for asking me back. I'm not pitching for any prizes or anything like that. I'm pitching solely for a tech co-founder, so maybe I just speak to Seminda and I finish the pitch. But basically, mSpot, it won 2 startup pitching competitions in December, and I've got a lot of traction. I'm starting to speak to a number of client or potential clients about activating them and trying to get some income coming in from them. So the problem that I've got at the moment is I want a tech co-founder who has skin in the game, who really wants to get involved and believe in the idea with me. So what is mSpot? mSpot's a meditation app. It helps people find and share the best places in the world to meditate. And the problem that we're solving is that within 3 months of learning to meditate, 70% of people who have learned, they quit their habit. So therefore they forfeit all of the great benefits of meditation. So that's the grassroots level, but at a global level, that has an impact on declining mental health. Excuse me, on declining mental health. So I did create an MVP. Feel free to tell me when I've overspoken, but I created an MVP, had pretty good traction, over 2,000 users, 1,000 verified mSpots, which is meditation spots. We were recognized in the Wall Street Journal as a top meditation app, and there's a whole lot of other traction, including verbally validated income streams. So there's a lot to be excited about for a developer out there. If there's anyone else apart from Seminda who's out there listening, I'm basically searching for a tech co-founder. So if anyone is interested, get in touch and I'll give you the full details. Thanks very much.
And so nice to see you again, Damian. We really love it when our past pitches come back and we can continue with help, and it's just fantastic. So I might just see if one of the judges just wanted to pop in a comment. Yes, Megan.
I don't want to ask you questions. I don't think that's what you need today, but I think it's helpful to talk to the audience about what exactly do you want in a tech co-founder, specifically from a technical perspective, and what do you want from them that's not the tech bits? So what sort of human are you looking for?
Yeah, I'm looking for somebody ideally, but doesn't have to be, interested in meditation or at least health and wellness. From the tech perspective, the app was built in Objective-C, but looking at maybe converting to Swift. So I'd like to get it up on the iOS store, also on Android, and also a website. So, you know, I know that's a lot of different components there, but initially, somebody who can help with getting the iOS version up and building out the income producing functionalities. And it doesn't have to be a full-time gig. It's just something that somebody who has some spare time and an interest can get started on. Until then, we can bring in money and make it a bit more of a full-time gig.
Great question. I love that. Lynn, did you just have a comment there as well?
Yeah, tech co-founders are really in demand. Very, very hard to get because everybody wants them. A lot of people want them. Could you just explain, you did really well to get so many users. Yeah, really, really well.
Thank you.
And I'm just wondering, you said one of the problems in this area is because there was some really, like the original co-founder of iDeaSpies. I went to her place and she's really into meditation. She uses one of the very popular apps every day. Yeah.
Yep.
How do you compete against those ones that are really, really popular? And how do you solve, or you said you can solve the problem of people turning off after 3 months in using?
Yeah, so that statistic came from one of the largest or the largest meditation organizations in the world, and they have a 12-week check-in after people learn to meditate. And these people actually pay to learn to meditate, and they're giving up after 3 months. So one of the major reasons cited was, I have nowhere to meditate. So that's where mSpot, being I didn't explain it very well, but it's a location-based directory of free and paid meditation spots. So basically you open up your iPhone, your phone, and you find there's a map, and it shows you all the nearby mSpots, various different categories, whether it be paid meditation studios or parks and gardens, churches, rooftops, etc. So that would be the one way. Now, how do we compete against the popular ones that are out there and got millions and millions of users? Well, one thing that we do that's different to any other app on the App Store related to meditation is that we help people find and share the best places to meditate. So not only are you finding spots for yourself, you're adding spots for other people in the community, and hopefully we can gamify it well enough that that will become a little mission in itself. Certainly with the MVP users, they got quite into adding different spots and sharing them with the community. In terms of the Colgate tests, keep people coming back once or twice a day. We'll also have similar features like those popular apps have, like the guided meditations and the premium features.
Okay, so it'll be good when people start getting out and about after COVID.
That's right. Yeah, it's probably not the best when people are locked down, but the whole idea, it's more for city people and country people, find the calm amid the clutter. I came up with the idea when I lived and worked in central London and was looking for quiet places on my lunch break.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Calm in the clutter. Thank you so much, Damian. Well, that concludes our pitching part of this evening. So we will now have the judges and the organisers from Silicon Beach will head into a room to do some deliberations. And I think, David, we'll put everybody else in rooms with pitches. Is that right?
That's the plan. And now we will see if magic's going to happen.
I believe in you, David.
Let's go for it.
Hello, everybody. Here we go. I hope you all had fun talking and networking, and we are keen to wrap this up. We've got 2 minutes to announce prizes and say thank you. So I'm going to get to this really quickly. So over to Lynn Wood to announce the iDeaSpies prize, and I'll give a little drum roll. Go, Lynn.
Okay, well, we're really, really pleased to give our bespoke post prize to Tristan Huxley of Twisted Xeros. And I've got on his website, the concept is about being able to move you to a more positive mindset moment to moment across the day, which is exactly what we're all about. So congratulations, Tristan. Connect you with our wellbeing editor, because it's a really important category for us and also for everybody recovering from COVID.
Thank you, Lynn. I'm very excited. Well done, Tristan. Just a quick note, I will be connecting all of the prize winners to the prize givers. So I'll do that afterwards via email. So look out for the email. Megan, over to you for the YBF prize.
Absolutely. So on behalf of YBF, I have, the judges have picked someone really platform based, which is great, and scalable, new technology based, and really focused on customer, giving customers value. And that is Isaac Donnelly from 4-2. So congratulations. The YBF prize involves you coming into that space for 3 months. I've been involved with them for a while now, and it's a great space to be. They're either in Melbourne or Sydney.
Awesome, thank you.
Fantastic. Well done and congratulations. And before I hand over to Shalene to give the CFO Works prize, everyone's a winner on this in terms of the pitches. I thought you were all incredible, and I really hope that you've enjoyed all of that kind of interaction and dialogue. And, you know, Seminda, you picked up lots of clients there, I think, and lots of good business in there for you.
I think so, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So this is what we're all about. All right, Shalene, over to you to announce your prize.
Thanks, Karen. I just want to say, yeah, that everyone did such a great job. And we did have a tough time trying to decide who to choose. So we've decided to actually give away 2 workshops. And the 2, I guess, startups or ideas that we're awarding the workshop to is Daniel from AirMask and Bejay from Silicon Tech. Yeah, and I think it'll be really useful. The workshops will be really useful for the both of you. We do work with quite a few hardware startups, and we've worked with them from pretty much concept up until launch and post revenue, and very much into their scaling stages as well. Yeah, so very, very excited to work with the both of you and everyone else. Thanks.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Shalene. There are just amazing prizes. And the final prize was the one with myself doing a video story that we would get shared out, and we will explore on camera your purpose, vision and values. And I would like to sit down and interview Estelle. So hopefully, Estelle, you would like to sit down with me, and we will film that video piece and make sure that your ask is fulfilled and you get to tell your story. And yeah, I'm really interested. I can't wait. I'm really excited to sit down with you. So fantastic.
Me too. Thank you so much.
Absolute pleasure. Well, thank you, everyone. That concludes the official proceedings. I have been told that if you would like to stick around and hang out afterwards, you can. So Alexa will be on there to hang around and have a chat with you. So feel free to stay on. But for those of you that have to leave, please head off and have your dinner. Thank you so much again to our judges, the incredible Megan Fisher, Lynn Wood and Shalene David. You have just made this such an incredible evening. And thank you to all our attendees for your amazing support and, you know, all of the stuff that you've popped in the chat. Really, really appreciate it. So join us for our next one. We have these every single month on the first Thursday of every month. So I think our next one's on the 4th of March, I think it is. So look out for details, and we'll also have the recordings. Thank you, David, for all your breakout rooms too. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you. Thank you and goodbye. That's when we need a song.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
See you. Bye, Lynn. Bye, Megan.
Thank you, Karen.
Oh, thank you. Oh, very good. You can hang around and have a chat if you'd like, everybody. You can unmute. Alexa, you going to stay on for a little while?
Yeah, I'm hanging out, yeah. We don't have in-person things anymore, so this is an opportunity to chit-chat with people.
Absolutely. And so Daniel and Bejay, I'll put you in contact with Shalene. I'll send an email, and so you can get together and do those workshops. And what I would also say to both of you, make sure that you come back in subsequent ones, because a lot of the chat between the judges was that, you know, we'd like to see you back again, and there'll be more prizes on offer, and there might be ways to navigate you through on different things. So yeah, definitely make sure you come back.
Amazing. Thanks so much.
Yeah, really love it. Good stuff.
Yeah, thank
All right,
you.
I'm going to head off and feed my children, one of which was the timekeeper, because I think they're all hungry. So thank you, everyone. Really enjoyed it. Thanks, David.
Thank
Hope
you.
it was okay. See you.
David, can't you also make me a co-host so it doesn't end in case you're leaving?
Yes, I think I can do stuff like that, but I'm a little bit overwhelmed. That was quite stressful organizing those breakout rooms.
Yeah, and especially without, what was his name? I forgot. Oh,